Welcome back to the News at 10. We've been looking at the resumption of the National Assembly. Now let's take a deeper look at the issues now. I'm being joined live in Abuja by a senator representing Cross River State, Senator John Eno. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we're told that the National Assembly is to resume, but this resumption date has almost become a movable feast. Can you confirm that Tuesday next week is the real resumption date now?
The National Assembly is going to Tuesday next week.
Indeed. Now, but beyond the crisis that we see now, the one that we're aware of, are there any underlying issues that is making the crisis in the National Assembly linger?
Well, I do not think that it's first the crisis that is going on that everybody is aware of. Yeah, it's a normal crisis. But I think that whatever is underlying, I think as much as possible, the National Assembly should be allowed to deal with it as a National Assembly.
Is it normal, really? Because you've sat for only 6 days since, the House was instituted. Is that normal to you?
Well, I mean, it's certain times, certain exigencies just happen. I mean, ordinarily, the National Assembly members are also mindful of the fact that there is a mandatory constitutional period in terms of number of days that the National Assembly must sit in a year. And I think we're all conscious of that. And I can assure you we're going to meet up with that number of days, those number of days.
Okay, now let's take another look at it. The EFCC is chasing after some senators, even the wife of the Senate President. Do you see this as a witch hunt? I know we've heard from some of the PDP senators, but are you worried at all about that development?
I should be worried, not just me as an individual, not just me as a serving senator, but I think that every Nigerian should worry. Like you've already alluded to the fact, some moment ago, the PDP senators issued a statement, under the platform of the like-minded senators, calling attention to this development and saying that Mrs. Saraki left Government House, in Ilorin since 2011. And, it's a little bit curious that government or the EFCC has had to wait up to this point before considering to invite Mrs. Saraki. And I think that it amounts to a witch hunt. I agree. And everybody should be worried about this tendency and development.
All right. And as a senator, what do you think is the best way out of this leadership crisis so that you can begin to attend to the issues of governance, which is the real reason that you were elected? Are we going to see a divided House? What do you think we're going to see when you resume on Tuesday?
Well, I think that basically there should be an appreciation that beyond the inauguration of the National Assembly, we're talking about Nigeria's National Assembly. Yes, we all run elections under different party platforms. But on the day we're inaugurated, it is the inauguration of the National Assembly. If you are talking about a leadership, it's a leadership of the National Assembly, not of one party or the other. So I just think that, as we get set to resume on Tuesday, the 28th, my expectation and hope is that everything is going to be normal. We're going to be able to have, the Senate and the House of Reps having their normal sessions. Things should be allowed to run their normal course. We're talking about a National Assembly. No matter how hot, no matter how badly, feeling anybody came out of the inauguration, on the day we inaugurated the two chambers. I think that, with time, people should be able to, live with it and look at the fact that we all have an historic duty to make sure that our democracy works. After 16 years, I do not think that when we go to elect a leadership, that anybody outside the National Assembly can feel so terrible as to begin to, remain a problem to the smooth function of the National Assembly.
All right, Senator John Eno, representing Cross River State. Thanks a lot for joining us on the News at 10 tonight. The People's Democratic Party in Kogi State has concluded its Congress election ahead of the governorship polls in the state. Mr. Sam Otua from the Central Senatorial District emerged as the state chairman, while Mr. Samuel Agbenemi from Western Senatorial District emerged as the deputy chairman. The governor, Idris Wada, says the party is on a systemic and steady path to a successful election come November 2015.
Of legal advisor, we have Barrister John Samuel.
Delegates seated in order of their constituencies at the Lokoja Township Stadium, ready to vote for the candidate of their choice.
The Executive Governor of Kogi State.
The governor, Idris Wada, was present to show his support and advised the delegates to maintain peace during the process.
What is important is that whoever emerges is going to work for all of us. We should all cooperate,
given to them today. There should be no rancor, there is no victor, no vanquish. The winner at the end of the day was the PDP. And that party is our party.
That done, and amidst tight security, the sorting of the ballot papers started, and shortly after, voting commenced, albeit in a rowdy manner. And to ensure a transparent and credible election, the chairman of the Electoral Committee, Mr. Olisametu, introduced a new voting pattern which saw the voting process to a peaceful conclusion.
We've decided that each local government will stand in a queue. Please, if you have ballot paper, stand. If you don't stand, we'll know how to deal with it.
Done with voting and counting, Mr. Metu announced the results.
The process has been very transparent, very credible, it's peaceful, and a lot of enthusiasm from our members. And that means that all the consultations, stakeholder meetings, and all the effort we have put in for a very credible and transparent Congress to elect a new leadership for our party in the state has gone down very well.
The delegates may have chosen the leaders that will pilot the party's activities before, during, and after the governorship election in the state. But the success of the party will be determined on how well these elected leaders are able to carry out their responsibilities.
Twinings Ovaltine Nigeria, makers of the food drink Ovaltine, have concluded arrangements as part of its corporate social responsibility to supply Ovaltine to the Yola camp for internally displaced persons. Every month from now, women and children in particular will be given Ovaltine every day for 1 year. The concern here, according to the management, is to improve the nourishment needs of the IDPs.
Unknown to some people, there are now 16 camps scattered across Nigeria, housing many internally displaced people from their homes or into activities of insurgents. Their nutrition plight has come up to the management of Twinings Ovaltine, and they've decided to offer a helping hand.
We are incredibly proud with our company for taking an embarkment on this journey to support these individuals who have been removed from their homes through no fault of theirs, whether it's in Yola, Abuja, or in Edo, I believe now we have another camp being set up. We want to continue to support them.
If more people, more organizations will join the quest for whatever they do better, certainly we will be able to alleviate the sufferances to all these children. My mind goes particularly to the children, and make sure that they will have a better life, better future, and certainly growing in a more balanced manner and becoming better citizens. We need all of them.
It's heartwarming to see such CSR action for Yola Camp as a case in line. And for this operation, aimed at keeping the children nourished and healthy, 6 pallets of Ovaltine will be supplied every month over the next 12 months. Each pallet contains 90 cartons, and each carton contains 180 sachets, which we understand we cater for the number of people at that camp.
We are happy that we have read through the books and seen that Ovaltine is very nutrient rich and has a lot of vitamins. It has carbohydrate, it has fiber, it has fat, it has protein, and it's going to, when these children take it like you saw on the film, it's going to replace whatever needs that they have need in their body.
As a brand, we've always had children at our heart. They have always been our focal point. They're the ones we want to ensure that have the balance and the best nutrition, which is why we put so much effort into our product. So it wasn't really a choice. When we found out we had discussions with the Medical Women's Association in Nigeria that there was this challenge, we knew it wasn't even a question. It had to be something that we came out and supported.
Just to make sure it goes well, Ovaltine has partnered DHL and the Medical Women Association of Nigeria. Good nutrition for IDP in Yola is on the way. Olu Phillips, Channels Television News.
And from there, we move on to business news. Here's Adeshawa Josh.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Business News. I am Adeshawa Josh. Nigeria's Monetary Policy Committee has retained the policy rate at 13% with a corridor of plus or minus 200 basis points. After its two-day meeting held between the 23rd and 24th of July 2015, the committee also maintained cash reserve ratio at 31% for both public and private sector funds. As predicted by analysts, the interest rate setting body retained liquidity at 30%, and the CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele insists the Naira is appropriately priced.
The point is that we had done a depreciation of a currency by almost about 22%, from 155 to 197 that it is today. And like we had addressed earlier, we cannot continue to adopt an indeterminate depreciation of our currency because of its impact on our people, given that this is a heavily import-dependent economy. So my answer is that the Naira is appropriately priced at this time, and we continue to monitor the situations, and in the course of time, if there is any need to change our positions, we would let you know.
That's the CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele. The World Bank has announced the appointment of the immediate past Director General of Nigeria's Securities and Exchange Commission, Ms. Aruma Ote, as Vice President and Treasurer. According to a statement released by the bank in Washington, D.C., Ms. Ote, in her new role as VP and Treasurer, will manage and lead the diverse team responsible for managing more than $150 that's billion in assets worldwide, through engagements with public and private sector institutions. The statement said she was selected to this position through an international competitive search and will be assuming office effective September the 28th. Well, the Nigerian equities market closed in the red, down 0.4% at 31,091.59 points. Krista Cole has the details.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Markets Report. Nigeria's equities market closed in the red, down 0.40% at 31,091.69 points. Caverton, Stanbic and UAC properties saw appreciations in their share prices. While Caverton went up 38 kobo, Stanbic IBTC scored a 31 kobo share price gain. UAC properties gained 22 kobo. Forte Oil tops the losers table with a 4 naira share price cut. Nigeria Breweries lost 2 naira and 1 kobo, while PZ shed 1 naira. Now, out of the 132 million units exchanged, Guarantee Trust Bank transacted 14.55 million units. 12.80 million shares of Zenith Bank were traded, while Transnational Corporation had 11 million shares exchanged. By the close of trading, 132 million shares had been exchanged for 1.78 billion naira in 3,388 deals. And that's the Stock Markets Report. I am Christy Cole.
Thank you, Christy. That'll be all on Business News tonight. The news at 10 continues in a moment.
Next on the news at 10, knee injury knocks out Super Falcons striker Asisat Oshoala for 8 weeks. Nigeria Football Federation demands medical reports from Liverpool ladies. And that will be on sports. Please stay with us.